My name is Zins. Zins, that's a T with an E with the mark over the E, Z-I-N-S. Yeah, about 40 years in photography. Started out with, as a young boy, started out with pen and ink, painting, acrylics. I've been around art all my life. My father was an artist. So I had all the tools and always played with them. But once I began to play with the light, that I could manipulate it a little bit more, refine it a little bit more than an actual painting. I mean, you could use light and you could trigger some types of manipulation in painting. But the photographic process is when you can really break free once you begin to learn the basic skills of photography. I never did darkroom work, I always had printers. I always loved being out in the field, and I always loved to collaborate with people. So I always chose printers that were willing to collaborate and work with me. And I had some of the best printers in the country, which really helped me in that kind of a way. Never digital. Always, I claimed for 30-some years to be a purist until the paint people came. But I started with a 4x5 plates, old school, and then hooked up with a major printer, Jack Lusick up in Succo. And of course he uses digital to get them to this level on canvas. So they're actually sprayed right on canvas. I started out with paint tubes and kind of ending with paint tubes. Of course, this is a very unique paint tube. This is the paint tube by Bill Rain, who painted feverishly, raised 8 children, had 2 wives, painted all his life for 55 years in New Mexico, 35 of them in Taos, New Mexico. He passed away about 4 years ago, and I was good friends with him for about 20 years. I really loved him. He was a good man. And so when he passed away, I started rooting around his studio after some meditations where he passed away in his bed, and ended up picking one up, and they just kind of spoke to me because he never painted with his caps on. So it took about a year and a half to get to this level, to this size, so we could blow it up this way. And I tried all types of different equipments, and the 4x5 was the one that took flight. And from there, the rest is history. This is 4 years down the way. It's taken a couple years to market it all, and feel really great. There's 22 in this series called the Paint People series. Most people feel the word in Taos is they're almost like the new iconic archetype of the 21st century. Now that's a pretty big statement to make. Has nothing to do with, I mean, it has something to do with me, but not all, because as someone said, you know, all the people in Taos are paint people. But then we could expand it from there. And here at Chroma in Albuquerque, I feel really blessed and feel really grateful to be with some really innovative artists in Albuquerque. And I've been checking this place out for a couple years, and I really see that I think the paint people they're home here. And I think Albuquerque and Chroma is going to be the launching place to bring them global. Fate, destiny. It's my purpose, one of my purposes. It's a great way to communicate. I love beauty, and wow, I mean, and experiencing art through a lens is it's a very unique way. It's so unique and universal that everyone has a camera. So. And you know, we call those snapshots, but you know, it's really wonderful that I really always stood by this when I started a large movement in Taos, New Mexico in the early 90s called the Art Lab, very collaborative. We made national and international recognition. But one of my statements were, we're all really artists. And it's just some of us are with titles. It's like somebody that's always good with their hands, but we have carpenters. And so I don't have any problem sharing my medium with snapshot shooters, because in their own right, they're creating art with their family or with their loved ones, or something speaking of beauty that's so cool. That's what I love about photography, because I get to unveil things. It's not so much creating, it's more unveiling. Life, man. Life is everything about life. It doesn't matter if I speak with an artist or someone that really feels true to their instrument and might be able to photograph that and have that come out. So that's all exterior, and that's what's so great about it. But I think you're referring to maybe people that, you know, influenced me, you know. And of course, Ansel Adams, you know, I studied his work at the beginning phases of depth of field and how he used and manipulated light. But I didn't know him personally. I was Ernest Haas from New York in the 50s. I loved him because he was an abstract person. He would go around New York and shoot these shots of old beat up posters or something of what life has done to elements, buildings. I love that too, you know, and a lot of people do too. I know that, but that's, you know, that's something really cool. And then, you know, the troubadour of all of them, Elliot Porter, you know, I got to meet him, and he ripped apart my portfolio for a day, which was a blessing. And he was all, man, it was Lou Gehrig disease, and he was all bent, and he was just, but his eyes were like crystal clear, man. You could just go right through you. And it was a great moment for being butchered, as it were. He taught me some good things of not what to do, but you know, be complete. That was his big thing for me. You know, be complete. And boy, if we could do that in life, I mean, I think that's what we're all striving for. And I think that's where the paint people hopefully will take us, to help us learn a little bit about ourselves, complete. Because here's a paint tube of Bill Rain. He completed his life, and look at what happens afterwards. And we don't even have to be religious or spiritual about it. We could just speak about it in this framework of the present moment, which is really the basis of all religions and spirituality. The connection of all of them coming together is the present moment. We get caught up in the past. We get caught up in what's going to be in the future, what gains we might get. But this is real. And the cool thing about it is, I'm just a participant, just like you're a participant out in the, you know, the viewer, you being here. I'm just a participant as much, you know. I got to reveal it, but I can't own it. I mean, you know, so in that kind of a way, it keeps me humble, it keeps me playing. And there's mediums, unique mediums that are coming from here. And so maybe we'll get to that later if we have time. But the newest medium coming from, they're actually paintings that I'm calling from the paint people. So that's kind of exciting. But if we have time, we'll go into it. But if not, it's good. It's kept secret. It's always good to keep a secret.
I think we got a lot there, actually.
Okay, so perfect.
I think we're good. Thank you so much.
Good.